Hey folks, your OS Reviews. You're watching our video first look, application process, and a brief review of the Griffin Armored series DFLEX skins. They sell this for a series of digital media players, so the version we have in front of you is a little bit older. It's for the iPod Touch, 4th gen model, but they still produce this, and you can find it for more current smartphones, and they sell for about $25 or so, which really isn't too expensive for a custom skin. And what's unique about the DFLEX series is that it also comes in a set that includes cleaning wipes as well as solutions that keeps your product kind of clean, in addition to a screen protector on the front. So it's going to be a total 360-degree protection as opposed to only a skin that wraps the body. So it's a little bit more unique, a bit more complementary, and fully featured. So this is what the packaging looks like. You can see on the top it is scratch resistant as well as claimed to be industrial strength, tear proof, easy to apply without too much air bubbles, hopefully, that will be attracted to this. On the back you see some basic info about the puncture resistance on here, so it should be quite thick, as well as the included screen protector, and the actual skin part is kind of a carbon fiber like look, although there isn't too much info about this part. You can see here it also includes a microfiber cleaning cloth, a Smart Wipes wet cleaning cloth, and a mounting solution for attaching everything into place. And again, it's about part of the DFLEX protection system. So let's open this up and see what else we have in the packaging here. So sliding this out, it seems like we have an instruction manual. It tells you how to set things up. It's documented in English as well as in Chinese and in Japanese. So we have access to a few instructions. Turn your device off before installation. Afterwards, wash your hands and dry your hands, and then use the cleaning cloth to wipe things off. After you've wiped it off using the cleaning cloth, then use the wet Smart Wipe to wipe it off again as such, and finally mount it with the solution and then attach all the screen protectors and the skin on the back. So fairly simple, but those are the instructions to keep in mind. Looks like there's a piece of tape here covering things up. So this is the mounting solution part inside this bag. Again, we have it logoed by the company. It says, do not spray in the eyes, do not swallow, do not inhale, so on and so forth. So they give you a small amount of that, and then we have access just to the actual application materials. So this includes the soft card, which you can use to ultimately squeeze out any air bubbles. It is recommended to do this in a fairly humid area, although it's not completely written in instructions. It might be beneficial if you, let's say, go to a bathroom and turn on the hot water, so it allows all the dust in the air to land and kind of drop, so you don't have any more dust floating around the air if you're in a really dusty area. That might be an issue that might collect on the screen, and then when you're applying the screen protector, it might not be as perfect. But here is a microfiber cleaning cloth, again logoed by Griffin, as well as the squeeze card. And there's also the backing. This is what it looks like. So it's still kind of transparent. You can kind of still see through it. It does have a slight carbon fiber look to it, and this is what the pattern looks like. Kind of a grippy texture as well, and fairly slim as well. So you can still probably slide it into a soft case, although if it has a very tight hard shell case, it might be a bit more of a struggle. Here is the Smart Wipe solution, so that's fairly interesting. It looks like we have to tear this open to use it, and this is the screen protector. So it's not like a typical film screen protector. It has more of a almost a thicker layer on it, so this almost seems like it's going to protect the device a bit more, but at the same time it's going to change almost the texture of the screen. It's a bit more sticky. Not a huge fan of this type of screen protector, even though it completely protects your product from scratches as well as dust. So it's a bit thicker than your normal crystal film screen protector, for instance. Okay, so now we're going to wipe this off and start with this application process. So here we have the device. Again, we're going to do the wipe off first. Once we are satisfied with how it looks on the sides as well as on the screen, we're going to go ahead and take the second step, which is again using the Smart Wipe, which includes a bit of a moisture kind of in it, so it's not completely dry. There we go. So for this, it seems like we have to pull, and we pulled the top off, which leaves the wipe reveal in the center. So it actually has a little bit of liquid, it seems like, that is able to, so it seems like this activated or allowed for the liquid to come out a bit more easily. Now we're going to just kind of use this again on the screen to get it rid of any fingerprints and dust. Again, not the most ideal situation in the world because we're not, in a super humid environment right now, so the dust might still land on the screen somewhat, but hopefully this gives you guys a quick idea of how this application process is like. And of course in the back, I'm going to do a quick wipe as well. Although it seems like the front is going to be a bit more important here because of that screen protector. So afterwards, we are more or less done, and we can set this off to the side. Next, we're going to do the mounting solution. So I'm going to try using this on the screen protector portion first. It doesn't specify that it only requires it for the back, so I'm just going to use this for the screen as well. I'm going to leave, let's say, about 2 inches and then spray this. So I'm going to shake it a little bit first. There we go. And give it a good amount on the front. Afterwards, I'm going to start off from just one corner. So again, this is a pretty thick screen protector, as you can kind of see from this corner here. Definitely a bit more bendable, as well as has more of a latex feel to it than a traditional kind of piece of plastic that you might find from a regular screen protector. So here we have it kind of peeled off from a corner. And we're going to try to start applying this based on the home button placement. Alright, so a bit of a jump cut. I've already attached the protectors both to the front as well as to the rear. That took about 5 minutes to complete. I also sprayed a little bit of solution on my fingertips to prevent fingerprints from getting onto the actual protectors in the case I had to realign them. Otherwise, it was fairly standard. They also recommend that you let this dry for 24 hours before using it. That will allow the liquid underneath, which you should spray about once, about 6 inches away, to get it covered on the surface, and that's enough of this liquid here for you to definitely do that. There's still, of course, some excess, but otherwise it does work pretty well, at least for the front. And afterwards, they do have a lifetime warranty on this. During the application process, though, I did find that this is a little bit difficult. It's a bit more complex than other screen protectors and wraps I've used in the past, and perhaps needlessly so, because even after all that alignment and all that time, it seems like the back still isn't really doing a great job of staying on. I squeezed out, some of the excess water already. I kind of keep on repeatedly folding over the covers on the sides, and it seems like it's still not doing a terrific job of at least staying on. Maybe I'll let it dry for a bit more time. I already did a jump cut of about 20 minutes, and it still isn't, I waited after applying this for 20 minutes, and it's still not completely flush with the surface, which is a little concerning. You can see though that the texture is rather interesting. You can still kind of see the Apple logo at certain angles, but it does have this carbon fiber texture to it, which is quite grippy and attractive, although it isn't completely, a black and white or a silver look to it. You have cutouts with all the various ports, but again, the main thing is letting the corners stick down. They seem to not really want to stick, so maybe it's the glue that they used wasn't very strong enough, and you can see how some parts aren't completely covered either, so it's more like on the back, so if you set it down, it doesn't scratch on the surface, and it makes it a little bit easier to grip. The front came out a lot better, and it's one of the thicker screen protectors, which also means that you have to apply a bit more of resistance to the screen. It isn't as smooth as touching glass anymore, so not a huge fan of that, even though it does have, again, very strong coating that prevents scratches. Also, when I tried to remove it on one corner and had to realign it, seems like parts of it got a little bit fuzzy and damaged, so it's not exactly the most beautiful application either. So at the end of the day, I would say for 25 bucks, it is really cheap, because Griffin is giving you both a complimentary wrap, a lifetime warranty wrap, in addition to a strong screen protector and an entire set. But perhaps one of the reasons why it's so inexpensive compared to competitors is because it doesn't really work as well. Corners, if your device has really rounded corners or sharp corners, doesn't seem to stay put very well, and overall you're left with something that I think you'll have to maybe even replace after a few years. Sure, the quality of the actual materials are great, but the glue itself doesn't really want to stay on, and it seems like you only have 1 or 2 shots to apply it correctly, and afterwards it kind of gets damaged. So that is something to certainly look out for. Anyways, guys, this has been our quick video first look, application, and review of the Griffin Armored DFLEX for smartphones and also media devices. Thanks for watching here at